Good morning to you. Welcome to the AdoreKnit Podcast. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai on Ravelry and AdoreKnitSTEPH on Instagram. And return of the UFO is what I think this episode should be called. But first, let's talk about what's in my cup. So, you don't normally see me drinking hot things, but this is an adorable knitting mug that I have. I got it on Zulily. And in here, I have Andy's mint chocolate coffee, which is delicious. You should totally get it on Amazon, with a pump of Jordan's skinny syrup. That's, which one? Mint chocolate chip, and some chocolate almond milk, and it's amazing. It is like a Starbucks. Peppermint mocha. So, let's go. Let me tell you what's coming for today. So it's been a good long while. Let me get the coffee kicking in so I get some energy here. It's been a good long while, right? Since I last recorded, maybe even a month, 3 weeks. It's been a while. So I have for you, as the title indicates, a return of an unfinished object, whips, shop talk, additions, and life. So that's what's on the dance card for today. Things might be a little bit different from here on out. I did get a new computer. Yay! Exciting. We realized that with the boys homeschooling and the demands on the computer, it was just so slow. You know, when it's just me and I have all the time in the world, I can turn it on and walk away. But when they're trying to get things done, it wasn't working. So I got a new computer. Actually, the shop got a new computer. And yay! It's exciting, but I'm still like... the software is going to be really different because well, maybe not. Maybe I can get the editing on this too. But I know that the photo editing software I have that I like to use on the computer is from '96. So I had some old programs that were much loved on that computer. But yeah. So I know you're wondering about the chevron BOXY. Last time... I bet I worked on it for a week. Oh, that's where my shorter cords are. I worked on it for about a week, and then I sort of lost momentum because it's a long way to go. So last time you saw it, I had this much going, and now it's on hooks because I figured out that I had too many stitches. So I cast on the smallest size and then figured out, no, I need one bigger than that. So you can see it goes out a little bit. I'm fine with that. It could be more fitted around my neck. Yeah, and I got it going on. And let's see, I am in the second section, and I am maybe a fifth of the way through this sleeve, and then I have a whole nother sleeve to go, and I'm not really enjoying the knitting process on this. So I set it aside. I didn't tell you anything about it, and I don't have a picture. This is the BOXY chevron. Yeah, so it has these stripy sleeves and then a solid body. Yeah, so I set it aside. So this may become a UFO, it may not. I decided to use the Alana yarn that I purchased from France. I used the bluish skein, the speckled blue skein, for my love note, and this is one of the yarns that I have over, I don't know, 1,400 yards of, and I've never knit with it. And so one of my goals in Crafty Bingo this year was to use a yarn that I have a lot of and have never knit with before. So I thought, make a sweater out of it, right? And I have a bunch of this color. I think I have, that's where he came from. So I have 4 skeins of that. So that's enough to do the body. I am knitting on size, you want to guess? I'm going to guess it's a 4. Maybe it's a 5. Whatever the pattern calls for is what I'm knitting with. And yeah, I was really excited. I saw another podcaster's, and her sleeves were beautiful, and I'm not really into it. And I know I could make them short sleeves, you know, I could make it be a shorter sleeve top, but that's not what I had in mind for this. And if you recall, it's a BOXY, and so it's got this big you know, it comes out several inches, like 10 inches, 16 inches of ease. And I was going to modify it to not have that much ease, which kind of throws off the sleeve construction, because the armpit, instead of being like here where the sleeve and the body separate, I'm pulling it into up here. So it might just be well, it was a fun idea in my head, and I dream knitted it, and the execution just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So the next whip I have to show you is, oh goodness, I need to get sock blockers. The next whip I have to show you is my Baudelaire socks. So this is a pattern by Cookie A. I have knit it 4 times now, and I like it better than the monkey pattern. It is just as memorizable, but I do need stitch markers marking off where the twists and turns are versus where the ribbing is. So that is sock number 1. I'm hoping if I hold really still, you get a good look at it. That might help. And so here's sock number 2. Last time you saw it, I believe I was turning the heel. Yes, I was turning the heel. And now I am up the leg. I worked 5 pattern repeats on the other one, and I have 4 onto this one. So it's almost an FO, and it's the end of the month. So this is kind of like my time to finish socks that are not Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. But the yarn I'm using is Opal. I know they make solids. I can't say it enough. So that's probably my favorite workhorse yarn for knitting socks. And I'm so glad to be able to have a striped option, because, you know, things like this can't do in stripes. At least I don't recommend it. So I'm knitting on size 0s, and I picked this color blue to knit the pattern. It shows well enough in this blue. It's not too dark, but it's the color blue of my mom's RV, and it's knit to match her RV. So, and replace her first pair of Baudelaire's that she wore through. She walked them to death. So the next sock, I have to show you is the Spring Ecstasy sock by Tina Koo. I am trying to knit 3 pairs of Christmas socks this year, and I want to say in December I bought 3 skeins. I bought 4 skeins, I think, but this is one of them, and this is the Regia. It's fine. It's not Opal. I don't love it as much. It just doesn't knit as densely. I think it's probably a lighter weight fabric. I don't know. You'd have to look at the yardage per skein to know that for certain. But anyways, Tina Koo's pattern is not ribbed. So I'm taking her toe up construction the way she formed her heel, because I wanted the ribbing to go all the way to the bottom of the foot. I thought that would be a cool look for this. And I like the way the decrease is kind of at the back. So they form a V from the bottom of your heel up, but they don't. So in constructing the second one and reading the instructions, I realized that my stitches should have leaned out in my decreases, and I leaned them in. So I swapped my SSK and my Knit 2 together. So I got this really cool V shape that I like, but that's not what the pattern called for. I should have been going out so that the extra stitches were worked back into the front of the sock. It's fine. It looks the same if it's the same. I'm not real crazy about the fit. It's just not as comfortable as my normal Wendy Johnson heel flap sock pattern that I put that heel on everything. And if you've seen the show, I think every single episode has a link to that, because I talk about that sock all the time. So this is not that though. This is Christmas knitting with an adorable Santa. So that's where I was last time. I worked my way up the heel. I will say it is fun to work this heel. It is not intuitive the way that it's constructed, and yeah, the changes in the stripe sequence, you could probably, if you've knit a lot of self-striping yarns, you could tell what happened there, that the stripes get bigger. But yeah, fun to knit, size 0 needles, 2mm. Yeah, and this is the first pair. So these are supposed to be for not me, and I made them to fit me because it's close. And I don't know, let's see, how much do I have? Oh, I have this much left. I was wondering if I were going to gift these. I'm not crazy about this heel.
What I was trying to say is that when I'm giving a gift, I like to give the best possible quality, the best knitting, everything that I can do. So this sock does not feel like that.
So I'm not sure if I want to gift these. If I have enough here to do heels, toes, and cuffs and knit a second pair. I don't really want to knit a second pair of this yarn. It's Christmassy. I like the green. I'm not crazy about gold. And while I do enjoy Christmas, I don't necessarily want to think about it all the time. And that's kind of what these have led to me doing. So there's that. I'm sorry that was not more positive and upbeat. Right before quarantine began, I cast on a sweater. And then I kind of got bored knitting on it. I think I basically pushed myself too much to knit exclusively on that and then trying to get big chunks in a day. So I got bored with it and I cast on a second sweater at the Love Note, knit it, finished it, done. Cast on a third sweater, which is now in timeout. And when that one kind of got put aside, I was like, well, I should finish that other sweater because it's stash dash time. Always great for yardage. The throwback, no, Sunset Highway sweater I knit last stash dash. I finished it last summer. I think I spent 2 years knitting that sweater. Color work. It's beautiful. I love it. But fingering weight. And I knit it like tunic length by accident. Anyways, so I was thinking that finishing that first sweater would really help with yardage. And I'd like to have it, right? So the sweater is the Garden Gate. It is by, I think her name's Jennifer Diamond, something. I'll put it on the screen. But her handle is Knit Love Wool. It was published in 2019. It is a pay-for pattern, and you have seen them everywhere. She makes beautiful colorwork sweaters, and here is mine. So I set it down here up at the Emma, and look at all I've done. I know. So I finished the colorwork section, and I broke off for the sleeves, and my stitches went down like a third. So these yoke rows get really long. So I think I got down to almost 200 stitches, and then I got a little worried that it wasn't going to fit. So I put it on and had Steve take some pictures. I think that's the best way I've found for judging something. So here, let me hold it. Okay, so let's talk about my feelings on this. First, I chose a discount yarn. This is Baby Merino, 100% superfine merino. I saw it on an Instagram, like a little ad spot for HOBBII, Hobby Yarn. And I'm sure, I don't know the exact amount, but I'm sure it's less than $50 for a sweater. And so that's kind of what drew me to it. Plus the superfine merino, it's not going to be itchy, it's not going to be scratchy, and it's going to work for me. So this yarn is 180 yards for 50 grams. Cascade 220 is 220. So that's a worsted. It's not a, this is not a DK. I would say this is a sport weight. Did the pattern call for a sport weight? I'm thinking it didn't. I'll tell myself. I'll tell you. So right there off the bat, I am using a little bit thicker yarn. My gauge is always a little bit loose, and so requiring a fingering weight yarn, using a sport weight on the same size needles should fill in those holes that I would have gotten. So that's good, right? And inexpensive. And I asked for help picking out, I bought 4 colors and I ended up choosing this. It's so funny. It looks white, right? But it's like a dove lavender, like, or pigeon, like, I don't know. It's definitely towards purple. So I love it. I love the way it looks. It's nice and squishy. What else can I tell you? The color work, I knit for I'm going to set this down because it's warm. I knit for very many years without knowing good color work knitting technique. So I would twist my yarns or like twist them at bad spots, twist them so the floats showed through, not do the floats. What else did I do? I never paid attention to the top yarn and the bottom yarn, because if the yarn closest to your needle, that's the yarn that's going to pop forward. So you always want your contrast color work to be in that spot so it pops. So when I learned that one, my color work knitting went from like a 3 to a 7. Like, got a lot cleaner looking, a lot easier to see the details. So if there was one thing I could recommend for someone who's never done color work, it's to pay attention to which yarn is closer. So for me, that's my left hand. And I can do continental knitting, and because I'm normally a thrower, but for this, yep, continental for the whites. Woo! So that's fun too, because it's not a technique I do often. But down here, the end of the garden gate, there's the patterning, and then there's 2 blips, right? So it kind of fades out. There were spots where it definitely shows it's nice, and there are spots where you're like, did I miss something? But no, my tension was a little bit off, because I think it's like 10 or 12 stitches between them, and so I had to wrap twice, and I wasn't always wrapping correctly. So I figured out a way to wrap so that I didn't have to move the yarn off this finger, and that was fine as long as I caught it like 3 stitches before I needed to knit with it. So when I caught it like right next to the stitch I was going to knit with the white, it like twisted the stitch in a weird way, or the tension was off, something. So that's okay. That's what blocking's for. And also, I don't really care about the little dots at the bottom, right? The reason to knit this pattern is these diamonds. And it looks so good. Really good with my top too. So when I put it on, this top bit does a bunch of bunching. So that's pretty much every yoke pattern that I've ever knit that's a color work yoke has that, because you're shoving all your increases up here before working the chart pattern, and then so you've got the extra fabric, and then it limits the amount the chart is distorted, right? You're not constantly shifting things and moving things. It's easier for the designer to put it before, and your color work lays a lot flatter, because you can see my color work section is really nice and flat, but above it, it's a little poofy. So hoping that blocking will stretch that out, but I'm not sure if it will, because that is a lot of extra fabric on me where it hits. So, let's see, what else? I know I adjusted sizes, because that's what I like to do. Yes, I did. I know, this is so fun for you. I don't know what size I'm knitting. And I don't print pages that I don't need, so those details I did not need, so I did not print. So one last peek before it goes away. Oh, so let's talk about where I am now. So after I split off for the sleeves, I'm working it, and I was on probably a 40-inch loop. Yeah, and that's just with the tips, it makes it longer than that. It was just enough that I couldn't magic loop the sweater, and I guess I could have, but no, I couldn't. So I did a traveling loop, so I just pulled a bunch out, folded my needle over, and knit around till I got back to that point. It was annoying, and I was shifting stitches a lot because they weren't naturally lining up to be next, you know? There was extra cord, it was a mess. So after I tried it on, I downsized, and let me tell you, I hope this doesn't affect my gauge. I should probably check. So much faster. So now I'm on a 24-inch cable, and I am just zooming down the body. Yesterday I did a good 1.5 inches. That's what the sunglasses are marking. Oh, you know where else my cords are? I wanted a 32-inch cord, and I couldn't find them. So we found them. They're in that bag, but also they're holding sleeves. Yeah, so I'm a good 3.5, 4 inches down on the body. Yay! And I will probably make it a little bit longer, just, that's me. I think the pattern calls for a 9-inch body from the split of the armhole, and that's not enough body for me. We gotta have more body. My yarn is split and caught there. Okay, on my handle in my bag. Get out of the way, handle. Okay, so, yay! We had a little visit with my parents yesterday in their carport. It was 81 degrees and sunny, and yeah, I wanted to visit, but I did not want to be in the sun. I am not good with that. So we are like laughing at ourselves for now we're garage people. Now we're outside people. But yeah, in terms of this, we made a dumb decision. Steve and I made a dumb decision a few days ago. And inadvertently, it wasn't a dumb decision. It was a fine decision. We didn't have all the information we needed. And we inadvertently exposed ourselves to, all of us, to Corona. So, well, possibly. Anyways, so we're going to give it another 14 days. So we're re-quarantined afresh. And then I'm throwing it out the window. I'm done. I miss my mother. I miss my dad too, but I mostly miss my mom, and I miss our sewing time. And yeah, I'm not doing this for a year. So maybe that's our last outside visit, or maybe we'll just have one more, and then we'll be outside because we want to be outside, not because we have to be outside. So that's it. Because my parents are super cautious, and yeah, I trust them. So I finished object. I'm waving it around while I talk. These are the heel toe do-si-do socks. The pattern is designed by, oh, I've got them shifted so the patterning's a lot more apparent on the front. Crazy Sock Lady, it's her pattern. It's a great pattern. They are a little tight, so I think I added 4 stitches to be in, but she gives you 3 sizes, but I didn't want to admit that I needed the largest size. That was a big circumference, much bigger than my normal sock knitting. So I kind of split the difference, which was 4 stitches. And in through here, it could definitely use a little bit more. So I learned that on the first sock. The second sock, I didn't decrease as many out of my heel, so I had a bit extra going into the leg. So that's it. Nope. No little people spying on me. Yes, there is a little people spying on me. Hello. Good morning, babe.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this. Okay, so I knit these, thank you, on size 0s, as I normally do. The color is Sugar Plum by Desert Vista Dye Works. And this, I got this last year. It's a 2019 yarn. So but it's a new cast on, so I can put it in the not so isolated cowl. The Stash Busters 2020, the Create from Stash, the Stash Dash. Yes, Stash Dash, but they're finished before the splash pad party kickoff, so not for that. But oh, and the DVD. So 5 knit-alongs. I don't know why I'm so into listing and putting things. And I think the Forest City Knit Girls, is that their name? I think they have a sock knit-along going too. New sock knitters are cute, aren't they? I'm going to put in a little bit of shop talk right here. Share with you the new stuff that went into the shop last week. I love it. And what's new at AdoreKnit this week? Well, I can tell you that we are feeling very super. We're happy to have Wonder Woman in the shop. This set is more of a traditional red, blue, and gold. And then this one is more inspired by the 1984 movie with the neon colors. And here it is again a little closer. The beads are iridescent, so they look different colors depending on when you look at them. Even though no one ever wants to play yarn chicken, it's fun to have a little yarn chicken of your own. So this is our new gray option. And then we're trying something different with our markers. So we're offering things in the large and the medium sized. So right here you can see the beautiful rainbows, and those were the larges, and then these are the medium size. So you can just pick which size you like better. We're doing the same thing with this Love Knitting and the sheep. That's our indie dyer inspired one, as well as this sheep. So these are the larges and then the smalls. Next up, we have the kitty markers, the cute little ears, and there they are again. Those sold out already, but there's more on the way. We also have cute hearts on offer, so those will fit up to a size 8 needle. Everyone's favorite Outlander, we had to add something with Scotland and something with bagpipes. It needed to be. So here we are. These were inspired by that first picture of the tent and Jamie and Claire's clothing in that picture. So here's another one. So those are the 3 choices for keepers, and there are the markers again. And we have restocked our Frappuccino collection. So here is the Mocha Frap, and this is the green tea frap. Nope, no flapping, frapping. And then the strawberries and cream. So get your summer refreshment. And right now in the shop, buy 2 sets of markers and get the 3rd free. Just enter the code 3RDFREE. Okay, so additions. I do have a bit to share with you. So first, if you participated in the Sock Yarn Swapper Spectacular Yarns through Crazy Sock Lady, don't look. So this was 10 mini skeins for I think $30. Really good deal. They are speckled. They're not all speckled. I was hoping they would all be speckled because it's spectacular yarns. So, but I do like the way she packaged them and the list of names on it. It's very convenient. It's very nice. So I'm happy to have those for the blanket, which, no, I thought about knitting on, but I didn't. I don't know why I bought these. I don't think I had a coupon. Maybe I had like I don't know. Desert Vista Dye Works. Maybe I had a moment of weakness because every time I see this color anywhere, I'm like, oh, I love it. And then I realized, you have it. This is Desert Vista Dye Works Pacific Sunset. I think that pink and peach and purple and black are beautiful together. So I got that. I wanted some heels and toes yarn. So I can't remember what skeins. I think this one matches the Witches of Eastwick. I just said, the dark teal in that. And this one, it's just a good navy blue. I can see 3 different ones that it would go with. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I got those. And then Desert Vista Dye Works, this, I don't know what this is. It's a gradient color block. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what those 2 words separately mean. I guess it's like a self-striping. I'll have to figure this out. We'll see when I cake it up what happens. I'm not sure about this. It might have been a free gift. I don't know. I don't remember. So there's that. And I may be doing a knit along with this one with Erin of the She Must Knit podcast, because we both just got this. So lastly, have I shown you my shawl collars? I don't know. They're in this bag of things to show, so I'm guessing I have it. The Rusted Stitch, she is on vacation right now. She was, at least the last time I looked. But I absolutely love this. This is Steph. She's Hot Pink Socks. Here's her shop name. And I won these for the splash pad party, and she did such a nice job. This one's etched. I can't wait to use them this fall. Right? It's not really shawl time now, but I think this is going to make me wear shawls a lot more. I wish I thought to put shawl pins on more often than I do. I just don't think of it. So I got all the tubes cranked from Freckled Whimsy, and looking at her site, she has some gorgeous colorways, and she had a club, and I'm helping the economy. So this is the, I'm gonna say it's the May, or is it, no, it must be the April. Maybe it says it somewhere. We'll see, we'll figure this out together. Anyway, so this is a monthly club. Oh no, this is April 2020. And here's the picture that she sends with it. Isn't that gorgeous? So many stripes. It's a beautiful rainbowed yarn. She sent a stitch marker. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. Freckled Whimsy. Isn't that nice? So she sent that sticker, and then here's the yarn, and it comes with heels and toes. So, Good in Every Day is the name of the yarn, and it's a 75-25 merino nylon, 80 grams of self-striping, 20 gram mini, 460 yards. So, I never would have picked up this skein. Never ever in a million years. So seeing this, I totally love this. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful sock. So if you're interested in this, I know she also, Yarn of the Month Club, I know you can also buy them already snake tubed if you so choose. So that's it for additions. Did you hear my little squeaker? She's talking a lot lately. It's okay. She has things to say. Yeah. You want to see her? You want to say hi? Miss talks a lot. Ugh. So here she is. I would say that during quarantine she's gained 2 pounds. She had a food change, right? We no longer needed to have the prescription kidney food. All the cats were eating it, and it was fine for her to eat it, but she didn't need it. And now that the old men are all gone, we finished it up and went back to what we ate before we needed kidney food. And yeah, she gained 2 pounds. What's going on with us? It's a rainy day outside, but it's still 80 degrees, which is super hot and humid for us. I will be hiding in the air-conditioned house. What else? I don't know, there's like nothing going on. I want there to be something. I want to be excited to talk about something. Stash Dash is in effect. So that's a knit along hosted by the Knit Girls. Oh, how about I just tell you all these that I mentioned earlier. Splash Pad Party, by the time this goes up, it will have kicked off. I think it's kicking off this morning at some point. And that's another knit along. Whips count for both of those. So yay, it's lovely. And that's hosted by Downseller Studios, and we are a pro sponsor. So if you use our stitch markers or the exclusive stitch markers for that, you get extra points in that knit along. So, and really great prizes come out of that. The Not So Isolated Cow can be new or whips count. You just have to score it a little bit differently. That is hosted by Emily on Anders Mills podcast. The Create from Stash is hosted by Hammy My Knitting, and that you have to knit with yarn from before January 2020. So I want to knit these with Erin, but I also, it wouldn't count for that. So there's that. And then the Stash Busters 2020, that is Crazy Sock Lady. And I think that's also before 2020. I'm not sure on that one. So those are the 5 knit-alongs that I'm tracking in my spreadsheet and going with. I'm also doing Crafty Bingo with Erin of She Must Knit, and that's a year-long set some goals and knock them out. And last time I updated that, I was at 35%, I want to say. So a little below where I should be, although I should be at 50% by the end of June. So we'll see. I haven't tallied up for the month of May on there yet. So I think that's all I'm going to say for now. Boys are good. School's done in 5 days. Yay! Life is strange. And we had so much fun adventuring, the 3 of us, last summer. Even though I was super petrified about being home alone with both of them, and they're crazy and they're loud and they're noise. We had a great time, the 3 of us, and we're not going to get to do that this year. So it's going to look different, and hopefully we still have fun. I don't know. All right. I hope you are still having fun and knitting away wherever you are, and I will see you in about 10 days or so. Take care. Mwah. Bye.
Afra, are you being a sassy pants? Are you being a sassy pants? Oh, you've given me that glare about 1,000 times. Okay, I'll let you sleep. I'll let you sleep. No, I won't. Now wake up, wake up. You can see how tiny she is. Look at these big fingers compared to her tiny fingers. Hey guys, this is Roland and my awesome brother Tristan. We play Minecraft and it is Corona time, 2020. I am 8 and he is 5. We're both going on to the older ages. I'm going on 9. He's going on to 6.
Gosh, guys, that's insane!
I'm gonna die!
Oh my God, I'm burning! Roland, we have to move back.
Then take some matches, light the oil, run away and blow up it.